voice stuff that requires a lot more juice is all going to be down. Okay, you guys, how many of you got like a bunch of ham guys here, right? Yeah. So the end of the world comes, and ham operators will still be operational, provided that they have batteries that operate, batteries that operate, batteries that operate. Cars. How many people at 5:30 on Friday found out that your car was completely full of gas? There you go. Good for you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll tell you, I tend to be guilty of this, of like, going on and say, hey, go to the gas station, so I wait till it comes down, and that can be bad. I have a little car that gets 1,000,000 miles to the gallon, but only has 8 gallons in it. So at 200 miles, it's pretty much out of juice, all right? Once again, I don't know how long it's going to be before I get gas. I don't know how much gas it's going to be, but my guess is it's going to be expensive, okay? I don't care what the dial says anymore. The guy here on the corner is going to put tape over that dial, and he's going to charge you whatever he wants for gas, and you're going to be happy to pay for it. Does that make sense? So once again, it'd be nice to have everything topped off as often as you can, because you don't know what it's going to be. As I said, you're going up over the grapevine here, and you've got to spend 24 hours there. You like to turn the heater on and off, and on and off, and on and off. And if you're thinking I'm going to get gas on the other side of the grapevine, and it was only 100 miles from Long Beach, and I'll be fine, and it's like, that's not good, okay? So you don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. So think about those kind of things preparational. Now, in terms of other things that you saw, what are the stuff that you will think? Anybody here know how to turn the gas off in their house that has gas? Beautiful. You guys, Cert guys. You got the wrench? Yeah. Yes, super. Okay, you got that. Once again, do your neighbors know how to do that? The answer is no. Why might you be concerned with that? Because you live someplace where if the next door neighbor's house bursts into a gas fire, probably what's going to happen to the rest of the neighborhood? Yes, okay? It's going to burn, baby burn, and he's retired, so he's not coming, okay? So once again, it's going to take a while for them to get there, okay, for fire stuff, okay? They're going to have to go through the same kind of problems that you are traffic-wise and otherwise, and getting places is going to be very, very difficult, okay, regardless of how many lights that you have on your car. They're going to be pushing stuff out of the way, but it's still going to be difficult and take a long time to get to. So there is some value to keeping the area around you from bursting into a gas flame, okay, which is likely to happen. So being able to turn off gas is good. By the way, 2 days later when everything's groovy, who turns the gas back on? Okay, beautiful, okay, because I know you know how to turn it off, but okay. Yeah, don't be turning your own gas on unless you really know what you're doing. And even then, I would say, don't turn on your gas, because you probably don't. I have to do a drill next week with a company, Parker, who makes desalination stuff and all this kind of fancy stuff. Not in America, the companies here, because the weather's nice and the girls are pretty, but they do all their stuff everywhere else. They do something called a tag-out lockout drill. And a tag-out lockout drill is I'm about to do something with electricity and so on and so forth, and I don't want you touching that machine. And so we lock it up and so on and so forth so you can't get to it. And I would love to tell you that every time I do the lecture, I go over there every 6 months, and every 6 months I can tell them another story that happened within 120 miles of where they work, of where some guy came and figured out how to get the lock off that machine and turn it back on, and lost an arm, a leg, or got smushed, okay? Something horrible happened to him because he could figure out how to do that and so on and so forth, because he said, there's no reason for this thing to be on here. I'm pretty sure it's safe to turn the machine back on. Oops, that's not the case. So unless you're positive about gas and electricity and so on and so forth, definitely don't be turning that stuff on. You can turn all that stuff off. Battery type stuff. How long does one of these things last? Yeah, day if you stay off of candy corn or whatever that thing is you're doing. Yeah, they do not last very long. All right. I used to have a flip phone until my person that takes care of my money made me get this one because this was cheaper than buying the battery for my flip phone. A flip phone would last a week. Okay, I still have it. She doesn't know it, so I can take this SIM card out and put it back in until she can be mad at me. Okay, in terms of doing that. So it would be nice if you have alternatives to doing that kind of thing. There's actually a cheap cell phone that actually works on a AA battery, which you should have a stockpile of those or whatever, and it will take your SIM card, either the micro or the regular size SIM card, and pop it in, and you don't even have to have service. It'll still dial 911. Okay, so it can still do that. And it's a little plastic thing, and then you just throw it in your car, throw it wherever you happen to be. If you Google it, you'll find it on the internet. And so once again, it's nice to have that access when you are out doing things. Speaking of that, just phone numbers in general. We're all old enough here to actually know 2 or 3 phone numbers. Not your own, but 3 other people's phone numbers, right? If I lost this phone tomorrow, I would just have a new life. I would start over. Everything, the kids, everything, I'd give it all up. I'd just start over because I could never reproduce what's in here. It's never going to happen. It's supposed to be on a cloud somewhere. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know where those clouds are. I'm in Southern California. We don't have clouds, okay? I've looked for them. They're not there. So it would be nice if you had things to do that would work with that. I had a young woman that I put in a cab. I used to bounce bars at Long Beach. I actually gave her the money to get in the cab. She had to go 7 blocks. That would be 7 blocks in downtown Long Beach, and she couldn't make it that far without the cabbie pulling over, calling the cops, and taking her away. She had to spend 3 days in jail. I guess that's where the 3 days comes from. She had the 3 days worth of water. 3 days in jail because she didn't know her mother's phone number. She knew no one's phone number, and she left her shoes and her phone in the back of the cab. Okay? I don't know what she did to get arrested 7 blocks in the back of a cab on a Friday night, but I'm sure it was a good story later if she could remember it. So once again, it would be nice if you have some of those numbers down so that you can, if you do get a hold of somebody else's phone, to text and join and so forth, or to let people know what's going on. Okay? Now, in terms of the other exercises, there were some other questions that came up about things that you might encounter. We talked about the money stuff. You had a guy that came in and talked about that, and it would be nice to have a certain amount of currency that's in your house that you can get at. One of the things that you want when you are doing this preparation stuff is you want some operational security. I know you're maybe a member of the NRA, greatest organization in the world, love you dearly, whatever, but when you're putting stickers on your car, your front windows, and your Jordache jeans, people are going to realize that probably at home you have guns, okay? If you're not there, those are good, those are better than tuna fish. They're actually worth more than tuna fish, okay? So if people know that you've got tuna fish guns and $2,000 in a drawer in your dressing room, that's probably a good place for them to come, even if it's not an earthquake. Does that make sense? There's a concept in survival training that they call the gray man. And the gray man is the guy who blends in that you never notice. And there are actually people that practice doing that because they have to go places like Africa where they would think if you're looking like this, that they would go like, hey, you would catch that person right away. I have a friend that was in Africa. He's an Orthodox Jewish guy here, and the mother and the daughter, and the daughter goes, American, American, and he goes like this, and then realizes she's not pointing at him. He turns around, and she's pointing at a black woman. And he's like, what? And she thought he was an Israeli, but she was an American, so she could tell. Okay, right away, that's what Americans look like, okay? And the fact that they were the same color didn't make any difference. Could recognize it right away. Sometimes it's nice to be in a situation where people are less likely to have you think that you would be a good target, okay? That it looks like you have all the stuff that they might need to have in this emergency, that they remember that stuff and key, that kind of stuff. So once again, it might be better that fewer people know about all the good stuff that you have. They don't need to know everything about everything that you've got. They still can know you're on the Cert team and stuff, but they don't need to know that you have a bomb shelter that's ready to prepare that somebody can live in through the entire zombie apocalypse, because they'll be there knocking on the door. Now, at this point, what I would like you to do is to pick over the next 7 to 10 days a single exercise that you can even invent yourself that is going to make your life very difficult for a day. It could be my friend's gloved hand thing where he just can't use his right hand, It could be that the water in your house doesn't work, whatever, that this phone doesn't work, that your car doesn't function, okay? And you have to find other ways. Yeah, you can call people, they can come and get you, you can walk to the store, you can do all those kind of things, but can you go 24 hours without an automobile working in your life? Pick something like that and see how many ways that it forces you to think and rethink things about how to get places. Okay, you may now think, you may be starting to think about what's the best way to walk from here to there now that I'm not taking the car. It's like the Google Maps thing where they ask you car, bus, or walking. They give you 3 different choices of how to get someplace, and they can generally be dramatically different because they don't want you walking 1.5 miles on the 101. Okay, you may have to find another way to do that. You may find that you just say that the difficulty is the 101 is no longer an option for getting someplace. I have to find one of these other back roads and drive wherever I'm going for the next 24 hours using anything but the 101. Okay? I can use the overpasses, but I can't use the actual 101.